Hello friends, welcome back to Steno World. In this video, I am going to dictate special legal dictation at the rate of 110 WPM. So be ready for the dictation. Start. The learned counsel appearing for the appellant submitted that by no stretch of the imagination the words written on WhatsApp status by the appellant will promote disharmony or feelings of enmity, hatred between different religious, racial, language or regional groups or castes or communities. He relied upon a decision of this court in the case of Manjar Khan versus State of Maharashtra and another. He submitted that the prosecution of the appellant was a complete abuse of the process of law. The learned counsel representing the respondent state of Maharashtra submitted that whether the words of the appellant on his WhatsApp status promoted disharmony or feelings of enmity, hatred between different religious, racial, language or regional groups or communities or not is a matter of evidence. He submitted that it is only after examining the witnesses that the prosecution can establish the effect of these writings on the minds of people. He submitted that at this stage no conclusion regarding the impact of what is written by the appellant on the minds of the members of the public can be drawn. He would therefore submit that no interference is called for with the impugned judgment and the trial may be allowed to proceed. The gist of the offense is the intention to promote feelings of enmity between different classes of people. The intention to cause disorder or incite the people to violence is the sine qua non of the offense under section 153 IPC, and the prosecution has to prove prima facie the existence of mens rea on the part of the accused. The intention has to be judged primarily by the language of the book and the circumstances in which the book was written and published. The matter complained of within the ambit of section 153 must be read as a whole. One cannot rely strongly worded and isolated passages for proving the charge, nor indeed can one take a sentence here and a sentence there and connect them by a meticulous process of inferential reasoning. This court referred to the view taken by Vivan Bose as a judge of the erstwhile Nagpur High Court in the case of Bhagwati Shukla versus Provincial Government. A division bench of the High Court dealt with the offence of sedition under section 124 of the IPC and section 4 of the Press (Emergency Powers Act 1931). The issue was whether a particular article in the press tends directly or indirectly to bring contempt to the government established in law. This court has approved this view in its decision in the case of Ramesh versus Union of India. In the said case, this court dealt with the issue of applicability of section 153 of IPC. Therefore, the yardstick laid down by Vivan Bose will have to be applied while judging the effect of the words spoken or written in the context of section 153 of IPC. We may also make a useful reference to a decision of this court in the case of Patricia versus State of Meghalaya and others. Paragraphs 8 and 10 of the said decision read thus: it is of utmost importance to keep all speech free in order for the truth to emerge and have a civil society. Thomas Jefferson, freedom of speech and expression guaranteed by Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution is a very valuable fundamental right. However, the right is not absolute. Reasonable restrictions can be placed on the right of free speech and expression in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, friendly relations with the foreign states, public order, morality in relation to contempt of court, defamation or incitement to an offence. Speech crime is punishable under Section 153 IPC. Promotion of enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, etc., and doing acts prejudicial to maintenance of harmony is punishable with imprisonment which may extend to 3 years with fine or with both under Section 153.